The 145th Open Championship headed to Royal Troon for the 9th time in its history. 156 of the world's best golfers gathered on the famous links, but only one could lift the biggest prize in golf, the claret jug.
On the tee from Scotland, Colin Montgomery.
Colin Montgomery hit the opening tee shot on Thursday at the course he grew up next to. Rory Stenson provided the shot of the day.
Producing a hole-in-one.
But in the glorious sunshine at Troon, there was one man who dominated.
And Phil Mickelson takes the lead in the Open Championship.
A birdie at the last would see Mickelson create history by scoring the first 62 in a major. That round of 63 giving Mickelson a 3-shot lead after round 1 at Royal Troon. All eyes were on Mickelson as he looked to increase his lead on Friday morning. An early start meant Mickelson had the best of the conditions on Friday, carding a 69 for a score of -10 and the lead at halfway. Sweden's Henrik Stenson was one shot behind after his superb 65 during round 2. Stenson finished runner-up to Mickelson at Muirfield in 2013. Could this be the year he finally broke his duck at the majors?
On the tee from Northern Ireland, Rory Mcilroy.
After missing the 2015 Open through injury, 2014 winner Rory Mcilroy looked poised to make a move up the leaderboard on Friday. One of 3 birdies for Mcilroy on the front 9. But as Friday progressed, the weather began to cause those with a later tee time plenty of problems. After battling down the back 9, Rory signed for a level par 71 that left him 8 off the pace. Round 3 at the Open. Would moving day see world #1 Jason Day make a challenge? 4 birdies on the front 9 moved Day up the leaderboard, but his momentum and any hopes of victory stalled on the way in. Another man who wouldn't be contending was last year's champion, Zach Johnson. Despite some excellent putting, Johnson failed to make an impression on the leaders, finishing at 1 under par. As the final pair got underway, a fascinating duel looked set to unfold, and it wasn't long before they were tied at the top. Englishman Andrew Johnston was fast becoming a favourite amongst the Royal Troon galleries. The man affectionately known as the chipping in on the 13th and finishing the day in 4th at 5 under. But as Saturday reached its conclusion, there was a sense the winner of the 2016 Open would come from the final pair. Sunday at Royal Troon. The winner of the 2016 Open would be decided. Could Henrik Stenson get his hands on a maiden major? Or would Phil Mickelson lift the claret jug for a second time? After trading blows on the front 9, it was Stenson who began landing the biggest shots. 1 hole later, Stenson made his 8th birdie of the round to move into a 2-shot lead, which would not be overturned. Frustration for Mickelson. Relief for Stenson, about to write his name into the history books. The crowds in the grandstands rose as Stenson strode down the final fairway with victory a formality. After a string of near misses, this was finally going to be Henrik's day.
Not only is Henrik Stenson the Open champion, it's the lowest score anyone has ever made in the Open.
Stenson finishing with a 10th birdie in a round of 63 and a final score of 264. The first man from Sweden to ever win a major, doing it in style on the links of Royal Troon.